Hello everyone. I think we can start today's webinar. So, I am Atusha Pingte. I'm a business analyst in Kylas, and today's webinar will be all about the features that we release in 2.2. This will be we have bifurcated these features in three parts. So, part 2 and part 3 will be covered in subsequent webinars. Today's webinar is about the custom fields that we release as a bundle, then ability to delete smart lists that users create all the time, and ability to disable and delete pick list options, map your custom pick list while importing data, and in and not in operators in filters for pipeline and pipeline stage. So let's take a look one by one. I'm sharing my screen. Please let me know once my screen is visible. I hope my screen is visible. So first thing that we released this time is bundling of a custom fields. We got many requests from our clients that they want to use custom fields that are available for other entities. Like if you go to subscription details and you have got elevated plan, you used to get different bifurcated custom fields for different entities. Like you used to get 10 custom fields for leads, 5 for contacts, 5 for deals, and 3 for companies. But we got to know that many of the clients are not using those custom fields on a lead. Like let's say they are more working on a deals, so they want more custom fields on deals. So they requested us that they want to use those leads custom fields on a deal. So what we did, we just made a bundle of custom fields for every entity and create a one group only. So now with the bundling of the custom field, you can use any custom field for any entity. So if you are you have taken elevate plan, you get 23 custom fields. We have discontinued explore plan. So for now onwards, it will be available for elevate only. Okay. So all the 23 leads, if you want to use all the 23 leads for leads only or contacts only, you can use anywhere like you want. Okay. So this was one feature that we released. The second thing that was important from client's perspective is deleting smart lists. So what used to happen if you go to leads, let's say, and user has create permission on smart list. What used to what they used to do? They just they would go to filters like let's say owner. Okay, and owner equals to I'm seeing all the owners here on the listing page, but I'm interested only for the owner Jaideep. Okay, and I applied. So this filter apply for a temporary period of time, but I don't want to, create apply filter for every time, and so that's why I can save this filter as a smart list. If you go to filters and click on this and click on save as, you can create a smart list with the applied filter. So let's say leads of Jaideep. Okay, and I'm saving the smart list. So it reduces your efforts to apply filters every time. If you go, let's say if you want to see all the leads, okay, So you can see all the owners leads on a listing page, but you don't want to apply a filter every time. So you just go to smart list, select your smart list, and that's it. All the filters will be applied over here in the smart list. But what used to happen, there were many users who had create permission on a smart list. So instead of applying filter, they used to do, they would apply filter, and every time they used to save this like a new smart list. You can see I have created leads of Jaideep, and now I am again creating a copy of the smart list. I'm saving this. So this was by mistakenly I'm creating a number of smart lists in the smart list listing page. So you can see multiple smart lists has been created, but there were no option to delete this smart list. So now we have introduced delete smart list also. So if you click on the ellipsis and click on a delete, it will ask you if you want to permanently delete the smart list. If I click on a delete, it will be deleted. So this way you can delete your duplicate smart list as well as the smart list that you don't want anymore. Okay, so this was the second feature that we released in 2.2. The third feature was about ability to disable or delete pick list options. So if you go to any entity page, let's say, and there is a pick list value, let's say source. Okay, so I have added number of sources. Okay, and where I can add these sources, let me show you once again. If I want to add these fields on for leads form, I will simply go to CRM setting, and there is a lead form fields. If I go to lead form fields, the number of fields that are available on my leads form. Okay, so if I select one of the pick list field, let's say source, you can see the data type is pick list. Okay, and this is the system type. If I go to this pick list field, I can add more values here. So let's say I'm adding this. But what used to happen, like some user has added a new value, but he has done some mistake in a spelling. Let's say I have added Instagram and I have added this. So there was no ability to delete these values that have added mistakenly, right? So now you can delete those values that you don't need anymore, or you have created by mistakenly, right? So if let's say I'm submitting this form, I again go to leads form, and in the source I can see those added values here, but this value I have added by mistakenly. That's why I want to delete this, either delete this value or disable. Okay, so what I would do, I will go to that field, and if I hover on this value, I can see there is a ellipsis option. If I click on this, now there is a two option in the overflow menu, the disable or delete. If I disable this, then this value will be hidden on a entity listing page. So, let me quickly show you. I'm opening a create lead form. If I go to source, I would not see the value that I have disabled. Okay. So keeping disable is for like, let's say you have added this value and associated this value for any lead or contact or deal for any entity, like let's say, and if you delete this value here, it will impact in your reporting. So if you want to, let's say, so you want to see a report by source, and if you have associated Instagram as a value for any lead, then it will reflect your reporting, and there will be some mismatching of the numbers in the report. That's why you can disable these values, so your reports will be having same number of data that you have in on a listing, right? This is nothing but a soft delete. But let's say if you delete this value, then it will be deleted on from your system fully. Okay. There's another thing about the disable and delete pick list value. So let's say, let me create one lead with the value Instagram. Let's say I have added source as Instagram, and I'm saving this. Okay. If I go to listing page, you can see the lead has been added. If I go to details page of this lead, in this source, you can see the selected pick list value over here. Let me disable this value. Now I'm disabling this value. Okay. And if I refresh this page, you can see in the source the value is still there because I have not deleted it, but I want that this value should not be shown in upcoming leads form. Okay, so let's say I have disabled this value from here. If I now I'm going for creating a lead, I can't see Instagram as a value in the pick list value field. Okay, but let's say I have associated this value with one of the lead. Okay, now I'm editing this. I again go to source here, and if I remove this, then I won't be able to associate the same value with this lead because I have already disabled this value from my big list value. Okay, so this is how it works. If I cancel this, the source will be remain same, like the associated value will remain same. But if I edit this, let me select another value and save this. So I have edited my lead with the different source, but I won't be able to associate the same value that I have disabled from my pick list value. So you cannot see the here. So this was the logic behind keeping the disabled value and delete value. Okay. There's another thing about disable and delete pick list. Like let's say there are let me select another pick list. Let's say there are only two values and I'm deleting one of the value. Let's say I have deleted this value. At the last, I cannot see three dots ellipses over the last value because there must be some value uh, in the pick list field, and that's and then only I can use this pick list. Otherwise, there's no uh, purpose to keep this value active, this field activated. So let's, if you get value again and save this, then you can delete one of the value, but at last you cannot delete last value. I think I have already associated this value with the sum of the leads, so it will throw me error. You need to go to every details with the applying filters and disassociate all the values from the leads. Okay, I'm deleting this and this is deleted. Okay, so this was all about the ability to disable and delete the pick list option. The third point of the webinar is mapping the custom pick list while importing the data. So let's say you want to import the data. In order to import the data, you need first create permission on leads, because as of now we are only supporting a leads entity. So I'm going to import data. I click on import. I select a lead. I'm selecting a file. Let's say I have selected a sample file. I'm uploading it. Yes, there are some headers for my files. I'm making it true. And in the next, uh, earlier it was only limited to text fields, text custom fields. So let's say there are you can see there are some columns like required, last name, product, service, owner, first name. Those are the those are the column headers with my original file, CSV file. Okay, but there could be some other columns as well that are not available with my system custom fields, like the, let's say I'm importing leads with the help of CSV file, and there were only system files at earlier there were only system files fields available in the import section. At here you can see only, you could see only system fields here. Then we started supporting the text custom fields that so we started supporting the custom fields with the text field data type. If you have any other fields other than the system fields in your CSV file, you could you could import those columns fields as well in the text field. But now we have started supporting pick list value as well. So in, if you have created one of the pick list, custom pick list, and if you go to import, so in the field section you would see a custom pick list as well. So I have created a subsource and multi-value pick list as a custom fields, and you can see those fields available here. This is the multi-value pick list and subsource. So now we are supporting custom pick list type fields as well while importing your data. I just want to make sure, just want to inform you that while importing the custom pick list, you make sure that your uh, values in the custom field pick list, let's say this is the field, and you have added some values. You should not enter in your you should not enter or keep any spaces while creating value. Let's say this is my CSV file, and I want some regional sources. So there are some values like Kochi, Pune, Mumbai, Chennai, with which I want to associate my leads. Okay. So if I copy this Kochi and I paste it here, please make sure that you don't add any spaces. Otherwise, it will be difficult to mapping while importing your values from your CSV file and your custom pick list values. It will immediately throw an error that this file is not available in the field. So please make sure that you uh, don't vary your values, like don't enter a small cases, or don't keep any spaces, and that's all. The value should be as it is, as mentioned in your columns. So this was about the supporting custom pick list values, pick list fields in while importing the data. The last and foremost request we got is about the in operator in the for the pipeline and pipeline stage. So if you go to earlier, uh, if you want to see a leads that are in particular pipeline, let's say. So what you used to do, you used to go in a filter, you would apply pipeline, and pipeline equals to, let's say, life cycle. I have created one my pipeline, so and I apply this filter. So I can see this is the pipeline, and all the leads are associated with this pipeline only. But we got request that we want multiple results with the we want to see the multiple pipelines leads on a same listing page. So what we introduce in the filter, we introduce in operator. If you go to operator and select, let's say, in, so in is basically allows you to add more values. So let's say this is my pipeline, and again on the same listing page I want to see other pipelines records as well. So I select number of pipeline I'm interested in, and if I apply, let's say there are some leads associated with the deal route pipeline, and some are the leads associated with lifecycle pipeline. So this is how in operator works in case of pipeline. We have introduced for pipeline stage as well. So let's say you want to see that how many leads are there stuck in a certain pipeline stage. So I'm removing this filter, and if I select pipeline stage, what you used to do, you select pipeline, and there was only equals operator available, equals and not equals. So you used to only see one stage result of only one stage. So you would see only those leads are that are stuck in somewhere in the pipeline stage. This is the pipeline stage. Okay. So now let's say if you want to see how many leads are there in pipeline stage B, and how many leads are there in pipeline stage C, and how many leads are there in pipeline stage D. So just go to filters, you select your pipeline, and in the pipeline stage operator, select in. And with the in operator, you can select multiple values. So let's say I'm selecting number of pipeline stages I'm interested in. I'm applying this, and you can see there are some leads that are stuck in pipeline stage 1. Some are there in open stage, some are there is a demo conducted. So this is how you can use in operator in order to see multiple stages result for the pipeline and pipeline stage. So this was all about the part 1. If you have any doubts, you can ask, you can unmute yourself. Later we will conduct more feature that we release in 2.2 today. So let's meet on a next webinar. Thank you. Thank you
Okay.
very much for everyone for attending this webinar.